like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, oh I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. You turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of the NUEL Rocket League Winter Championship Swiss Bracket. I'm Sigmoid, and this evening I'm joined by Orion.
Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of the NUEL. We've got 3 games lined up for you today, all best of 5s, and we're going to be seeing some top teams of UK University Rocket League going head-to-head once again.
And straight into our first matchup, I think. We have Loughborough, a team which I cruelly stole from this stream last week, are up against the University of the West of England Sea Stags Black, their first team featuring, I believe it's Sebadam.
Yep, you are correct. The UWE are playing with Sebadam in the NUEL. I haven't seen him featured in NSC. I'm not sure why that is, but definitely they have a stronger team on Fridays, and we'll see if they can take the fight to Loughborough, who have been looking like one of the top teams in UK University Rocket League once again this winter split.
Dropped 2 games across all competitions, as far as I'm aware.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know it was that dominant.
I was talking with Matt, the captain for the Loughborough Lions squad, and he essentially said they didn't even realise they'd been so dominant until I pointed it out to them.
Yeah, that's
and then they choked their final game against Portsmouth on Tuesday.
Unfortunate. But yeah, I'd only seen like true domination coming out from Bournemouth, who, as you know, or you might not know, beat Salford 4-2 in a best-of-7 show match on Wednesday. And you would say that potentially that could even be a grand final matchup in terms of NSE. But today we're not worried about Bournemouth, and we're not worried about Salford either. We're currently going to get into our match against Loughborough versus UWE.
Right, you are. Predictions, Orion. It's
well, it's
not a hard one.
Say, well, it is hard to say because I saw UWE play for the first time last week with Sebadam, and they looked a bit shaky, but they did start to warm up a bit, and I don't know how much they've been practicing. I don't know if Sebadam has been playing in the RLCS, which has just started up again for this winter split. As UWE,
whether he has or not, he's just been scored on. Crimson dives in on what was looking like an open net. Yeah, Sebadam, he's forced to go around the far post, tries to get a block on Matt M, but he actually tucks that ball back around to the inside Crimson, hitting that ball into the near post, and it's an easy beat against Sebadam.
Yeah, Sebadam potentially not as warmed up as we might have hoped he would be. He's really got a, kind of when we saw UWE at their best last week, it was when Sebadam was kind of rallying his players around him and wasn't just trying to be that one-man carry. And I think against a team like Loughborough, you really can't do that. You have to work together as a team to break them down.
All right, now it is Sebadam on the back line once again. He's low on boost, but he has tipped the ball to the side. Matem cutting it back in to the near post once again. He can't do it all by himself. His teammates need to be holding back a little more. Thirst of Wind and Incognito once again not picking up the slack.
Yeah, Sebadam
there. It's a 2-0 lead for Loughborough.
Yeah, it just looked like he was too worried about that bump attempt from, I think it was Crimson, and just ends up kind of wrong-footing himself and making things awkward. But credit to Loughborough there, putting pressure on the defense of UWE.
Sebadam's going to be taking this ball back once again. It's the second time he's done it, and it has been reasonably effective. Fortunately, no mishaps this time.
Yeah, Sebadam, obviously being that high-level player, is going to be one of those players that is exceptionally good at controlling the game. It's just with a team that plays so fast-paced like Loughborough, sometimes they just don't give you the time to do that. So we'll see how it goes going forward. But
I mean, if they hit the ball straight at you like it's just happened to Incognito, it's a little easier. Matem playing the ball to the middle. Sebadam dives in for a shot, can't capitalise, and neither can Theorist of Wind. Stamina now carrying this ball away. A lucky break, I dare say. Matem, I think he was going full speed from the corner back to the box in order to get in the way of that initial shot.
Yeah, Matem is definitely one of those players who doesn't really have an off switch. I remember playing against him in NSE. You would think you had a bit of time on the ball, but then he would just come out of nowhere and throw a challenge at you. So these players have really got to pick up their pace on the UWE side if they want to have any success.
Crimson now lobs for first, doesn't get a beat on Crimson. Stamina also in the way, so it's Matem on the back line, tips it up, it's gone straight to Thirst of Wind, over to Incognito. He has a shot on target, but he aims high, and Crimson's on the backboard to catch that one and play it away from the pink half.
Yeah, it seems like Loughborough definitely controlling the pace of the game right now. UWE haven't really looked threatening, although a mistake on defense there from Crimson almost punished. It looks like Loughborough are human after all, and UWE should really be taking their chances like that off mistakes, because I would imagine that they're not going to be that frequent from the Loughborough side. Although there's another one. Interesting.
Oh, Incognito was a little too late though. I think he might have set Sebadam off a little there. Crimson should be going up with this. Is double committing with Stamina. Stamina is one that taps up. He's looking for a second touch, but Incognito gets in the way. Sebadam now dragging it back down the other way. Matem with a challenge in the midfield. And a demo from Incognito into Crimson. Leaves Matem the only one on the ball. Finds a dunk on Sebadam, but I don't think there's anything too dangerous so far.
Yeah, almost a great solo play there, as Loughborough are going to leave themselves open at the back. Matem back just in time to defend that ball. I thought Loughborough were conceding there and they potentially overcommitted with not a lot of boost, but Matem going to make sure the defense holds and keep Loughborough with a comfortable 2-goal lead.
Now, I think overcommitting is not really one of Loughborough's things. I know well, we joke occasionally in scrims about some person being a ball chaser. Usually some variation on either Crimson or Stamina, but they are both pros at the end of the day. They don't do it so egregiously that it impacts the Loughborough side.
Right. Yeah, like, it's definitely good to have some players that are disruptive on offense, because it just breaks down rotations and makes it harder for teams to be able to coordinate themselves and then creates opportunities on offense. But
speaking of creating opportunities, Sebadam's tipped that one into the box. Theorist of Wind, though, is bailing out of that one, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, if you've got too many players that have that mindset, then you're not going to be rotating yourself, and you could start to hurt yourself. Is that, you think?
Oh, that's a nasty whiff from Incognito. I think any touch of reasonable pace would have led to a goal, but instead, 9 seconds left, Loughborough have extended their lead to 3, and I'd say game 1 is all but over now.
Yeah, it was, even with that goal, potentially it was too little too late from UWE, but they really should be converting opportunities like that against Loughborough, who looked like they were floundering on defence there. But I would say game 1 going to go comfortably in favour of Loughborough, and UWE really need to dig deep and find something here. They just looked, I don't know, what's the word, like spectators, I guess. It's to that dominance.
A little harsh. They were putting the blocks in where they needed to. Did, however, get outshot almost 2-1. And when they're only saving the same number of shots, it's likely that Loughborough are going to end up on top.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess the place where they have to dig is on defense, because we saw that those first 2 goals came out of double commits or overextensions. Incognito with Theorist of Wind, and Sebadam just sitting a little. Well, Sebadam didn't really have much choice. He can put the ball to one side, but when Matem and I think it was Crimson, they're on point, so they can't be beaten.
Yeah, exactly. Sebadam was, I think in both instances, was just trying to lay it off to a teammate who just wasn't there. As we see Stamina on a very healthy 300 ping, but that's going to drop down to a much healthier 24.
Stamina, I think it's a huge win on kickoff against Theorist of Wind. A ball trickles back, is picked up by Sebadam, but he fires it straight at Matem. Bit of early ping pong. We didn't see much of that feeling out process in game number 1, getting towards the mid-season now. Although that is the goal for UWE off a backward pass from Theorist of Wind. Not the 2 players I'd expect to see at the front, but with Stamina not able to follow up, and Matem misreading where Incognito was placing that ball, it ends up just trickling in, despite all 3 Loughborough players being back. Yeah,
that was the first goal of the series for UWE, and a crucial one going into, or off the back of a game that they've just lost, I should say. Just looked like Loughborough were a little bit asleep on defense, not quite reacting to the play fast enough, but they're definitely awake on offense as Stamina tries to look for Matem in the middle there, and Loughborough could have easily equalised off of that infield pass.
So now over to the side, bouncing back towards the midfield. Incognito with a shot on net is saved by Stamina. He's trying to beat out all 3 he has, although I don't think he's got the boost to do it all over again as those black players trickle back into the box.
Yeah, Sebadam looking a bit scary with his mechanics there. You can imagine that he would try and be the author of the best attacks that we would see coming out of the UWE side. But Loughborough coordinating themselves really well on defense right now, getting the blocks in where it matters, and being able to clear that ball confidently. Is Crimson going to go off the ceiling for this? He might actually have this.
No, not again. I saw Rixo do it only
Oh,
earlier this afternoon, do a 360, come
I
up for
did
a flip
see that,
reset.
yeah.
That was huge.
Insane.
Stamina, though, is going to finish it off, though.
Yeah, Loughborough firing back. It's going to be an awkward one to deal with off the curb, and Crimson bumping Theorist of Wind out of net is going to make things even more difficult for the UWE defense, and Loughborough back on level terms now.
And we're back on the back line once again. UWE caught out. They have got a clear away, and that's a beat on Crimson, but it's buying so much time for Loughborough to get boost if they need it. Stamina now goes up, taps it straight into Sebadam. He's teed it up for Incognito, but Crimson dives in to beat him out.
Yeah, it was an important block there from Theorist of Wind to prevent that ball from dropping dangerously in front of the net, as this one's going to do exactly the same, but Stamina blocked out by the UWE defense. Madam going to look for a solo play here, might fake him out, goes under, and Incognito's awkward, and Madam's going to continue to chase that ball into the corner. But
so much boost used by the UWE defense, so we see Theorist of Wind down to just 3, now 0, beaten out by Stamina. Stamina diving in with 50. Can't get the win, but that double commit with Incognito may prove costly. Incognito getting bashed around on the side, but it's Crimson going up. Sees Theorist of Wind with 60 boost on the back line. He finds a clear.
Oh, Loughborough. I thought that miscommunication there. You could almost hear Stamina yelling, "I've got it," and then not going for it. But almost a lapse in concentration from Loughborough, but they do recover as Theorist of Wind going to clear this one off the backboard. And Sebadam trying to follow. Incognito's there, but going as third man is going to open things up for Loughborough if they can get a clear into the other side.
That ball is flying back into the pink half now. Theorist of Wind going for the shot, can't find it. Sebadam tapping it down. Matem can't keep up. UWE for the second time this game to take the lead with 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, almost pre-jump there from Sebadam. He got up so fast and just sails that ball past Matem, who I don't think was ready for a shot with that much power from that angle. And UWE are doing exactly what is being asked of them in game 2 right now.
Incognito once again hits the ball high. Stamina should have an easy clear, but he's waited too long. Sebadam is on the back line, beaten out by Crimson. Stamina to the sidewall, should be picked up by Crimson, who has Matem on her left. Instead, she's just going straight for the flick. Crimson, I'm not sure she needs to do that. She could have just left it for Matt. Instead, with 90 seconds left, the score has stayed the same. You would have thought Crimson might have had it, but instead, Loughborough find themselves back in their own half.
Yeah, apologies if I've misgendered Crimson at any point during the stream so far. I wasn't aware that she was a girl, so apologies if I've done that. But getting back to the game, UWE ahead, but maybe not for long, as that one's going to go off the post, and UWE scrambling there, the fourth man coming in to help them, and Loughborough look to be wanting to even the scoring with less than a minute left now.
Theorist of Wind can't keep up. Incognito to the sidewall, blocked by Stamina. Crimson off the ceiling, not where she wants to put it though. Matem wasn't in a position to follow up.
Yeah, UWE are just stuck in their own half right now, and Loughborough just peppering their net with shots. They're soaking up the pressure well. Credit to the UWE defense, not taking anything away. But Sebadam with a flip reset, couldn't quite get a hold of it. And straight away, Loughborough are into the opponent's half.
I was almost a triple commit from the side of UWE though, and Sebadam is getting low and pretty far down the field. Incognito up, it's going to bounce off the ceiling. Crimson diving in. Loughborough need a goal in the next 10 seconds. Theorist of Wind with a whiff. Stamina, he's going to go straight for goal, but Sebadam with a huge dunk means that Matem is by himself on the back line with no time to use, and Sebadam in his way. Game 2 goes to UWE.
Yeah, Sebadam was a real anchor on defense for that last, I don't know, minute and a half of Loughborough offense. Didn't actually make any saves, himself, but he was just the one that was kind of rotating well through the defense and was reading the Loughborough offense extremely well. And UWE managed to take game 2, which I really wasn't expecting after seeing their performance in game 1. Perhaps I was too harsh on them.
Let's have a look at these stats then. 2 assists for Theories to Win, clearly the centerpiece for the UWE offense right now. Lead balls up for Sebdam and Incognito. Meanwhile, it's looking pretty flat for Loughborough. They were shooting pretty consistently last time around, and now they've not been able to. They've been on defense a lot more, and they just haven't been able to get those crucial goals.
Yeah, I think when Loughborough are in their own half, they play very well defensively, but in some instances, just because of UWE challenging balls in that final third, they do struggle to transition onto offense. I know Matt M, especially from experience, is a player that likes to take control of the ball and try and bait out a player, just as Sebadam has done there. But if you're being challenged constantly in your own half, it can be difficult to do that.
Stamina now in the midfield is bumped, and that gives Sebadam free reign over the ball. Crimson now in control, beaten out by Theories to Win. Matam with an awkward touch on the back wall, but he set himself up well with that recovery.
Yeah, the defense of Loughborough right now looked a bit shaky there, as it looks a bit shaky again, and Incognito gets blocked last millisecond even, by the Loughborough defense, as they're just having a few moments where it seems like they just kind of lapse in concentration slightly, or an awkward ball just throws off the kind of fluidity of their rotations. As Sebadam going to drop one down, and Matt M finally able to get a clear away, but immediately UWE are just getting possession in their own half and transitioning onto offense.
The lack of follow-up from Loughborough has been concerning so far, as you rightly say, but I think that's Stamina. He's found this opening shot and the opening goal for Loughborough. Sebadam tapping that one in for him. He was too far ahead of his own goal line there.
Yeah, Stamina, great placement there to put it behind the defense, and unfortunate from Sebadam. You would have thought Stamina, after he landed, could have put that ball in anyway, but it's going to be the first goal to Loughborough, and honestly...
And the second, that's gone straight in off the kickoff.
Yeah, once Loughborough are ahead, they don't really look like stopping. When they're behind, slightly different story, but Madam going to put in the second off the kickoff, and potentially, now that UWE have to start chasing those goals, Loughborough can really start to open the floodgates.
Well, UWE were on the front foot for the vast majority of those first 90 seconds, and they're on it once again. It's just they haven't been able to find the back of the net. Matam couldn't find that third block on Theories to Win. That one's trickling in, but Crimson with the 11th hour block prevents the scoreline being brought back to within 1 for UWE.
Yeah, we saw Incognito last week. I can't remember who it was that they triumphed against, but it was a game 5 with about 7 seconds left, and Incognito put an absolutely stellar touch into the net and won that series for his team, and almost there getting another incredible touch which would have led to a goal, but Loughborough just holding out on defense, as you say.
Crimson now tried to tap the ball over her head. Didn't quite find it though. It's gonna be a bit of a slow play here from Stamina. Can't get around any of the UWE players, so Crimson's going to have a crack herself. Sebadam on the backline gets a long clear into the box. Stamina once again on the backline, able to help out. And it just seems to be a bit of a good game of ping pong right now. Neither team really wants to commit to the play, and overall that's going to favour Loughborough. The clock is ticking down in their favour.
Yeah, Loughborough will ping pong all day long. I'm absolutely sure of that, and maybe even get another goal of their own, as Madam always in that final third, making a run in and trying to get that goal. As Theories to Win, very awkward there, but Sebadam on the defense to clear up. Such a fast player. You can see the rate that he recovers and transitions onto offense. It does feel like sometimes he is a bit of a one-man army, but so far nothing to show for it in terms of goals in this game.
I think perhaps the most remarkable thing is that, you know, UWE used to be one of the strongest teams in NSC, NUEL, the university scene more widely. And yet now we're beginning to see that just having one pro like Sebadam on your team is not enough by itself.
Yeah,
Crimson and Matem are both solid players in their own right. I wouldn't exactly call them professional, even though both have teams.
Yeah, I can tell they're both very competent players, but I definitely agree. Like if you look at a team like Chichester as well, they are in National League in NSE, but they're not right up there at the top. Like we see, I don't know, the Bournemouth roster of Will, Cloud, and Wards. Cloud is obviously experienced in professional Rocket League, but he has two incredibly competent players in Will and Wards around him. So it just kind of does seem to be that in NSE right now, strong teams work better than strong players, which is what you'd expect, really.
Crimson now going over the top, has beaten out Incognito as well, and there was no one back after that. Nobody expecting quite what this play was. It was a pinch, and Incognito, he just goes for the aerial too early, unless that was a backflip, in which case he's probably feeling quite embarrassed right now.
Yeah, Crimson there, that was quite a strange setup, but she manages to make it work, and Loughborough again have a 3-0 lead for the second time in this series, and you would think now primed to put UWE on match point in the next game.
Matem turning on this, he's bouncing off a corner, it's in the box, Crimson is there and she snuck it in for a fourth. Loughborough now with 18 seconds left have secured game number 3, their second this series. Yeah, and given the domination that we've seen in the 2 games that they've won, I don't see a way for UWE to get back.
Yeah, well, we didn't after game 1, and credit to them, they did fire back, but Loughborough have looked more convincing in this game than they did in game 1, which is quite a scary prospect. It seems that they've ironed out their defensive miscommunications and misplays, and they are starting to really fire on all cylinders now.
Touchdown. UWE not wanting to go on any longer, not wanting that consolation goal.
No.
Just wanting to move on to game 4. I suppose it's that game 1 mentality which you have to have as a player in Rocket League, which sort of forces them to do that. Don't want to be fighting from behind the entire time.
No, absolutely not. But UWE, are going to have to do exactly that, as they're going to have to win the next game to prevent Loughborough winning the series, and if they want to take the series themselves, will have to win another one on the bounce. And you would think after that game performance from Loughborough, it looks unlikely, but UWE did bounce back after a convincing game 1 victory, so we'll see what they can do going into game number 4.
And that game number 4 is going to be starting shortly.
Once I'm ready up, yes.
I just saw the Loughborough side. They got 8 saves that game. They've had to almost entirely switch up how they play against this UWE side in order to counter the fact that they've been able to force the Loughborough team onto the back line.
Yeah, potentially they just noticed that the UWE team was pushing quite high, and in that case they kind of switched to playing more counter-attacking Rocket League, as opposed to trying to just keep the play open, as we saw in game 2, which UWE took, and it seems to be working for them. Like you can see Incognito on the backboard there, almost gets a shot, but putting players in positions like that, it's very high risk, high reward, and if it doesn't work out, then you are at risk from a counter attack, and Loughborough seem to be excelling at those.
Stamina now, playing the ball to the midfield. Sebadam going over the top, but it's not on target. And Crimson gets an easy clear into the corner. Stamina now, diving off the backboard, a little fake being thrown in. He's going to follow up on this ball now. Incognito to Stamina. Stamina misses, and now on this back line, Loughborough are going to start to suffer that boost. Slowly getting drained, although I think they may have found an escape here with Stamina playing that ball deep into the back half.
Oh, that was a beautiful shot from Stamina there. There are a few double commits coming out on defense from Loughborough, which we haven't really seen since game 1. But I'm sure again they can iron them out as man going to drop one in. Is it going to go in? Incognito squeezes it against the post, and somehow that ball just pops out of the top corner, and we remain goalless in game 4.
Just the way he turned on that ball was pretty, and I wanted that to go in, but
yeah, it was a beautiful
denied.
shot. Really beautiful shot, but Incognito in the right place at the right time, and I'm not sure how he kept that out, but he did. As Sebadam going to look to take this over, but misplays there. Incognito has to bail him out, and Matt M is continuing the pressure as Theorist to win, going to get bumped, but Sebadam, you would think...
These rotation timings are coming in so clutch right now.
Yeah, UWE are holding on by the skin of their teeth on these rotations, but they are crucially holding on. And they are still able to transition onto offense despite all of the pressure that's coming out from Loughborough right now.
Indeed, however, Stamina's just gotten a huge clear. Sebadam forced to play that one to the side, straight into the waiting hands of Crimson. Here's to win, goes up, gets a long clear, and Loughborough wasn't ready for it. So he's bailed out UWE massively there.
Yeah, it's kind of very back and forth at the moment. Both defenses look to be holding strong. I imagine UWE are very conscious of the fact that Loughborough are on match point, so I think they're kind of really knuckling down and just trying to keep their net clean at the moment, and then try and maybe surprise Loughborough on the counter attack, although a double commit there could spell disaster as Stamina going to send that one up, but Madam immediately follows. Loughborough looking great on offense right now, and Madam's just going to tuck that one in. Great passing play between the Loughborough players there. Madam down to Crimson, or just to himself.
No, it was just Matt that entire time. And it's that near post shooting once again. They're not expecting it because it's so much harder to shoot at. And yet Matem seems to find the angle every time he goes for it.
Yeah, Matem is a very unpredictable player to deal with, especially with his ground plays, which I know have always been a thorn in the side of many teams in NSE, including my own. But just going to pop that one over the defense here as sends one inside. Matem again with the ground plays, but this time linking up with Crimson, and he's going to she is going to double her team's lead.
Do you think it's doable with 107 seconds for UWE?
Maybe if they score this, but no. From how Loughborough are playing now and the momentum that they carried from game 3, I think UWE are down and out at this point, to be honest. They've tried their best, and credit to them for digging deep in game 2 and taking a game off Loughborough, but Loughborough now just seem to be in complete control.
We shall see then. Stamina up against Sebadam. He's able to get that ball into the midfield. Crimson dives in looking for a shot, but not to be. Sebadam. Backflip flick to Fortune into the box. Incognito off the back wall. That one's going to drop down. Stamina with a clear, though, sends it high.
Yeah, Loughborough coordinating themselves well on defense. You can see the communication, and they're timing their rotations well to be able to meet the shots from UWE and transition onto offense. And then they're getting these counter attacks as Crimson, she's going to put in her second goal of this game, and it looks like it is curtains for UWE.
Incognito now can't win out the kickoff, and that ball is going to trickle deep into the black half. I was expecting a flip from either Matt or Stamina there. Neither of them decided they wanted it in time, so it goes over to the Sea Stags.
Yeah, Loughborough, you can tell that they're feeling themselves now. They know they've won the game. The pressure's off, and they're just playing their hearts out right now. Some incredible touches coming through, and they're just at the right place at the right time all the time, as they're just going to try and kill time off the clock here by the look of things. Matt M in an awkward spot here, though.
Oh, I think Theorist of Win played Sebadam off that ball, a poorly called touch. Leaves UWE with no chance at all now. The clock on the brink of expiring.
Sebadam clearly not happy with his performance there. A quick leave and no GGs. on the side.
He
of
probably just wants to get on with
UWE.
his next series.
That's probably also true. But yeah, Loughborough, they're just outclassing UWE, and you said at the start how dominant they have been. They do drop another game here, but yeah, you would have always thought that Loughborough had this one in the bag.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather they drop a game now than later on in the evening.
That's true.
They extend their lead over the field now. I imagine after this there'll only be 2 teams which are within 1 point in terms of Squiz score. Loughborough Lions, of course, now 7 games unbeaten in NUEL, closely followed by UEA Warwick Durham Lancers for Sea Stags, who they just faced. And that is it out of the teams on Swiss score of 6. Everyone else is even further behind. We'll bring you these the extra results after the break as they come in. And we'll see you in a little while. Bye-bye, guys.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, we're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. turned toward me and looked so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild, 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 wild. Ooh, I feel like I linger. Linger.
Welcome back to the NUEL Winter Rocket League Championship. It's week 3 and we have a treat for you up next. Salford are taking on York in this, our second series of the night. Orion, any thoughts on this series before we start?
Yeah, we haven't seen, or I haven't seen York on stream in the NUEL or NSE thus far this winter split, so I'm interested to see their team dynamic. And Salford, I've seen them a couple of times. They've definitely looked better with their new starting roster of Camo, Jiggy, and Kizza, which we saw on Wednesday, taking on Bournemouth. Unfortunately, they lost out in that best of 7 to Bournemouth, 4-2, but a very respectable performance against one of the top teams in NSE. And I'm sure they can definitely keep it close against York as well.
And I've got to agree with you there. Of course, this isn't Salford's first choice of roster. Normally, instead of playing with Jiggy and Kizza, Camo would be on the A team with Aaron and Deadly Soul.
Yeah, they've switched things, I think, though.
Actually, one of the other Salford players, I imagine, on this Salford side. York pun name, of course, is, at least as far as I'm aware, using their usual roster.
Yeah, I'm hearing that Salford aren't using the same roster. Sorry, I can't remember. It must be Kizza that's subbing in for somebody. I can't.
No, I'm pretty sure Kizza's your usual starter.
Okay. Well, we'll see how they fare against York, as we should probably get going with this matchup now.
Yeah, the players have been sitting waiting for a little while during our break. Just to break down the permutations, yes, we are getting into that sort of end of the season where we can start making predictions. If Loughborough are in their remaining 2 games tonight, they are locked in for the playoffs. There is nothing any other team can do to stop them. It doesn't guarantee them top seed, but it does get them pretty damn close. Outside of that, not much to say. We can tell that 9 wins, which coincidentally is what Loughborough are likely to get to this evening if they carry on winning, is the cut-off point for playoffs. There might be a couple of teams that get in with 8, but outside of that.
Yeah, things starting to fall into place, and it seems like Loughborough, currently unbeaten, are going to be one of the first teams to cement their spot in the playoffs for this NUEL split. Yeah, we've just had information that it was indeed Arton who was playing for Salford on Wednesday. My apologies, I completely forgot who it was, but he was actually a really key part of the team dynamic on Wednesday against Bournemouth. He looked really solid. It was the first time I'd seen him on the Salford A team, but Kizza, also a very competent player. So we'll see how things go as Jiggy forced to make a save straight off the bat there, but Tinney immediately going to follow that up and get the scoring underway incredibly quickly for the York side.
I think using Penelope's bump on him rather well there as well, getting down to the floor nice and quickly. Probably not intentional, but we run with it.
Yeah, intentional or not, it's going to lead to a goal, and it's going to be on the side of York. Exactly how they would want to start off this game 1, maybe just avoid some of the bim bam of typical game 1s with an early goal. As we see Jiggy getting bumped up to the ceiling there and kind of taking a long time to fall down from it, but Camo going to try and carry this one out, but Lady Penelope, they're so fast, and Jiggy able to take control now and transition onto offense, goes past 1, goes past 2, might be able to
Camo on the inside as well. It's just straight in. I mean, credit to Jiggy because he did all the work here. He had it stolen from him by Camo. I mean, stolen. He did need to get the centre in at some point. The dish wasn't looking likely.
Yeah, great play there from Jiggy just to send it down. He potentially didn't have the time to take it himself. As we see Tinney now going to send it over to Lady Penelope, and it could be open in the middle here, but Jaffa can't get there, and Camo puts a boomer onto the backboard. Could follow up his own touch here, not quite on target, and the scoreline is going to remain even.
I think he was looking for Kizza, and Kizza just didn't quite have the same idea or the angle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. as we see a bit of miscommunication there from York, just flipping past the ball.
Yeah, that 2 synergy not working out quite as well as I expected.
No, but you can definitely see the 2 synergy in terms of the pace that York are playing at there. A very fast team. They're giving me vibes of how I've seen Bournemouth play in NSE and in NUEL as well. Just challenging really high up on the defensive line of Salford and making life difficult for them.
Of course, playing quickly means nothing if you can't play consistent.
It's very true.
Out, teeing it up for Lady Penelope. It's in the box, but Salford getting a high clear, and I think that's upset this offense. Jiggy now on the sidewalk, picks up that ball after Cameron leaves it for him. Off the ceiling, he gets 1 touch, he gets 2 touches, he's over JavaScript and over the entire York defense. Jiggy opening up the lead for Salford.
Yeah, Jiggy, the one-man army there, a great touch and a beautiful second touch that I don't think JavaScript was expecting. Part of me thinks Lady Penelope could have got to that ball, but just not committing. I don't know, just didn't quite have the brain engaged and gonna let that one roll past him.
Salford now on the back line, though JavaScript trying to force that ball past Kizza. He can't, but Kizza can only get a weak touch in the corner. Tinney up against Camo, beaten out by the Salford defender. And another beat by Camo leaves York on the back line. Now a bump coming out. Oh, and Jiggy's tempted onto the crossbar. Opportunity not capitalised on by Salford. The score remains 2-1.
You would think that Jiggy should be scoring that. Oh, a flip reset from Lady Penelope, but can't get back onto it. But yeah, Jiggy there, just a missed opportunity. Camo is getting some incredible clears that are making life really difficult off that backboard for the York defense to deal with. And Camo, again, we've seen him time and again be the engineer of offensive plays on the Salford side, and he seems to be doing it again here in this game.
Jiggy demos Jaffa, which is going to buy Salford a little space here. You see Penelope playing this back, trying to get it over to Jaffa, but that wasn't happening. Not when Kiz is diving down the middle of the pitch. And he's back up again, playing this ball towards the box, looking for a dunk on Tinney, can't find it. Jiggy to the box, tucks it behind JavaScript, and Salford now have 3.
Yeah, I think that was maybe a JavaScript there, just tripping up on the post, I think, or flipped a bit too early, and Jiggy, well sighted there, shoots the ball behind him.
Coming out, up, looking to tap the ball down, but instead just going to trickle into the midfield. Kirza did follow up. Jiggy now to a far post, but miles wide. Tinney able to play this ball around Camo.
Yeah, Salford are looking pretty unrelenting now, and you can see them trying to keep possession as York are trying to transition off of defense and onto offense. As always, a Salford player rotating the same way and just trying to disrupt things, and it really does seem to be messing with York's rhythm, and they end up just stuck in their own half, which they have been for the majority of the latter half of this game, as Salford have just taken control.
Camo sitting in the midfield, played it to the corner, but nothing's going to come of it. It's Penelope gets a wave dash under the ball before getting tripped up by Camo. And in the end, back to playing ping pong again. And this is massively favouring Salford with the time left on the clock dwindling so low, almost at 10 seconds as we speak. Tinney now lobs the first and beats out Camo, which means York have a chance. I'm not going to count them out, but it's going to be unlikely. It's going to require a solid kickoff from whoever ends up taking it.
Yeah, I'm not going to cast his curse. This York may or may not be able to even up this game with 8 seconds left. Do you think they're going to need a kickoff goal or a full court carry to be able to do it? Camo almost denies that opportunity completely, but just not quite enough boost. Lady Penelope with the flick there, but Jiggy's going to send this one down. And Salford are going to take game one by a thinner margin than they probably would have liked to. But it's not the goals that count, it's the final score.
I don't think a small lapse in concentration, which is what we saw right at the end there, is going to hurt them too much.
No.
But other than that, yeah, quite close. You
Yeah.
could feel York had shots. I just weren't able to get them behind to solve the defense in the end.
Yeah, Salford have looked good on defense. The only time that I've seen them really be shaky was against Bournemouth on Wednesday. But that's just testament to the amount of pressure that Bournemouth are putting on teams at the moment. But York not quite able to match that intensity, and Salford are able to deal with it a lot better.
Camo whiffs the ball on the back line, and so does Jiggy. York got a significant advantage now, both in terms of boost and ball possession, or so I thought. Kizza, he's going for a full court carry. It's off the backboard. Jiggy looking for a deflection, but it's not going to go in. Camo instead dives in from the midfield. Tinney caught too far forward, sees the ball fly over his head.
Yeah, York had a...
As York concedes for the first time in this game, number 2.
Yeah, York had a golden opportunity there to take the go-ahead goal, but there was just nobody pressing that ball high on offense, and they end up almost kind of being baited in, like, oh, we've got to go, we've got to rush and try and get the goal, and oh, it's gone on our own net, and that's horrible. And York just need to react quicker to what's happening, it seems.
Kicking out. Taking that ball off the sidewall. Camo off the post and down, and Tinney got a small deflection, which means it trickles even further away. York massively bailed out by that single touch on the back line. Jiggy, though, playing this ball back down to Camo, sent goalwards, but not into the net exactly. It's off the near post. Maybe was trying to use that as a pass. Jiggy again forced off by the ball. Lady Penelope running this interrupt means it's really difficult for Salford to do exactly what they want with the ball and guide it towards that target.
Yeah, York's defensive rotations look good. They're rotating into the right spots to deal with it, but they're not doing it quite fast enough to be able to deal with Salford. And Salford are also kind of rotating completely the opposite way and disrupting play on the goal line. And it's so hard for York to play around right now.
Oh, Jiggy's tripped up Kizza there. A huge double commit, and he's backflipped again. Lady Penelope doesn't quite get free rein on the ball because Jiggy ran into it once again. But it's a huge brain fart from the young Salford player.
I do love that word. It's such an accurate description of what happens sometimes. Yeah, Salford on defense, looking a bit awkward, but Camo going to bail out Jiggy there at the near post, who had absolutely no boost to his name. But defense on both sides looking a little bit shaky, but it is holding for the time being. Salford still with the lead in this game. Kizza, that's a bad mistake, but Jiggy reads it well. But finally, a good run of offense for York here.
Makes you wonder if the heads have just gone on Jiggy. At least, well, Camo's put that in now, so I'm sure Salford are feeling a little more confident in themselves. But it was just Camo and Kizza setting that up. Kizza forcing that ball back off the backboard around the corner facing the floor and into Camo. Jiggy not part of it. If Jiggy's head goes, York have an opportunity to get back into this game. So if he's not feeling his mechanics, you can miss a clear, you can backflip twice, which sets the ball up beautifully to Lady Penelope, as we saw earlier. And it just keeps on opening up small opportunities, and eventually that's going to lead to goals.
Yeah, Jiggy did for a little while seem like he was floundering a little bit after that one mistouch, and he just panicked slightly, but it seems like he's composed himself now, and he's back to causing havoc on the defense as all of the Salford players in the corner trying to put pressure on that ball, and it ends up popping out into the midfield. But there's always a player from Salford there to meet them, and York aren't challenging this ball in the midfield. They're just constantly giving up possession, and it's giving opportunities to Salford. Camo there from point blank range is just going to fire this one in off a pass from Kizza. Beautiful control there. And Salford now 3-0 with just under 2 minutes left.
I don't think it's been stressed enough, but both Kizza and Camo just got achievements for doing multiple things. Camo, that was his hat-trick goal. Kizza,
Wow.
that was his 3rd assist, so he got the Playmaker award off of that. Those two linking up really well this game, it seems.
Yeah, and Jiggy, for most of this game, has actually been pretty solid on defense. I've seen him bail his team out quite a few times. You can see Camo there, only the one save to his name. Kizza as well, but Jiggy looking to create something on offense now. He might be able to put a shot in here. Leaves it for Kizza. That's a beautiful demo. Kizza can't quite squeeze it in, but Jiggy is going to get his first of the game now. And Salford on an absolute rampage.
And crucially, a 4th assist for Kizza here, playing around all of the York defense and doing all the hard work just so Jiggy has a shot on an open net.
Yeah, unfortunate not to get the goal himself there, Kizza, but the angle just wasn't quite there, and he definitely did the right thing, laying that ball off to Jiggy to finish.
That being said, I'm sure Tinney thought he might have had that for a second. Jiggy just about gets back in time to close the gap on the near post. Lady Penelope now gets under the ball, tries to flip it over to Tinney, but the net has been left wide open for Camo to score on. That ball trios straight in, no assist required because of this time.
Yeah, unconvincing pass there from Lady Penelope, just not quite getting to the man that he was looking for, and Camo just going to read it like a book and punish it from midfield. I
do wonder what JavaScript was doing so far up, because either Lady Penelope gets that pass over to Tinney and it's all well and good, or in the case we saw, he doesn't, and there's an open net for them to score on, and Jaffa's not back for them to save it, which is exactly what happened. Although I think Salford have just gone full summer season Portsmouth mode, just started to style on them now.
Yeah,
Camo over to Jiggy, over to Kizza, took the ball down to the back left corner, and that's behind Jaffa, so they score once again.
Yeah, there's not a lot holding Salford back right now. This is an inspired performance so far, putting 6 past this York side. I think maybe referencing that pass we saw in field from Lady Penelope, there could just be some miscommunication from Jaffa and Tinney on offense, as we see them both upfield again, and then they both rotated back at the same time. So I think they've just got to coordinate themselves in terms of, communicating who's going next, who's the third man. If they can't do that, you see all 3 players pushing up pretty much on the same line here. Like, if Kizza gets this shot away, it's just a goal. There's no one back stopping it. And fair enough, you're 6-0 down, you're probably trying to chase something. But still, you've got to maintain that composure. But Salford absolutely running riot in this game.
Makes me wonder where they were last week, because I think they were 3-0, and then they lost 2 games that week. Ended up 4-2, and now they seem to be back on form again. So clearly just a hit and miss side. But this
You're
week it's
talking about Salford, I assume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, there have been quite a few roster shuffles on the Salford side recently, so it could just be new players warming up to each other.
True. I'm trying to think who I saw playing for them last week, or if Loughborough even faced them.
I think the original roster that they went with for the first half of the split was Camo, Aaron, and Deadly Soul.
Oh no, that's our NSC roster. So
okay.
Because I know they ran this roster in week 1, but I don't know what they did in week 2, because I was off pretty much solo casting Loughborough.
Yeah, right. But regardless, it looks like this team composition is working extremely well for Salford. 6 past York in the first game. Could we see a repeat of that again?
Perhaps. You see the run offense right now until Tinney got that huge jump on Kizza. He's off the ceiling, off the backboard. Jiggy, with 5 boosts remaining, was able to play that one off the ceiling and buy his teammates some time to get back into their box.
Salford now.
Kizza bumped off the play. It's Tinney playing it to the side. Not in an ideal position for him to follow up, but getting that demo on Jiggy proved crucial. Jaffa now on the sidewall, trying to get past Jiggy once again, but Jiggy has him red, plays that ball down and off. into the middle of the field for Penelope.
Yeah, Camo now just barreling down that left-hand side on offense. Jiggy looking for some fakes. Might be able to send this one down. Help it, Camo. Maybe Jiggy just got one touch
He
too many there.
paused on the backboard. He was deliberately trying to go for some sort of delayed Doozy dish. Instead, his kids are forcing that one in as the York defense is left in an absolute shambles after that.
Yeah, Jiggy did well there to compose himself after that and just 180 back round and find Kizza in the middle. Salford gonna go ahead again, and still York yet to score in this series.
Because now, well, that's a side roll, an untimely 1-2 as his team is on defense. Fortunately, the York offense not able to keep up with his mistakes. And as a result, the score remains at 1-0. Jiggy now going for an air carry. Tips it under Jaffa, leaves the ball for Kizza, but Kizza is too late to the ball, and York and Tinney are back on offense. Tinney over to Lady Penelope, a huge block means the score still lies at 1-0. Despite his opportunities, there's no way that ball trickles in. Tinney does save to spare York what would have been a ton of embarrassment.
Oh, Lady Penelope, what a fake! That is such good awareness to notice that the defense was panicking there, and baits out Camo, just pops it over the top, and then a simple tap in. Great play from Lady Penelope, and York take their first goal of this series.
Crucially, Kizza not present as well. I think that third body might have been the turning factor.
Yeah, I think Camo maybe thought there was someone behind him there and just kind of threw himself at it, but the net wide open. Is Jiggy going to fire one off the crossbar?
I want to see how fast this was. 99?
99.
I wonder if it clipped the crossbar on the way down because it looked
yeah,
faster.
I think it did. I think it might have done. Yes, it did.
Ruined.
Maybe in the 110s, I would imagine, but the crossbar going to shave a couple of kilometers an hour off the absolute boomer from Jiggy, which puts Salford back in the lead in this game, although maybe not for long. That's a great shot from JavaScript. Tinney can't quite finish it. Camo going to flick over the top of Lady Penelope, but no boost to really be able to do anything. JavaScript able to get a good challenge, and Tinney there in the midfield to follow. Jiggy going to take that one high, and Camo there to follow. And Kizza a booming clear away, and Salford back on offense once more.
Tinney now in control, trying to beat up Camo. Instead, the ball is going to trickle over onto the other side of the pitch. Jiggy in the midfield fires one towards net, but Lady Penelope gets a block. And we're back to this interplay phase. Both teams looking for a weakness to exploit. And maybe the weakness right there. JavaScript can't get back in time, and Salford extend their lead to 2.
Yeah, I don't even think Jiggy was considering shooting here. This was just a clear, and there was no one back in time from York. They are leaving themselves wide open again, and it seems JavaScript just pressing a bit too high and not making an impact on the play.
Tinney now, he's coming off the ceiling, he wants to tie this back up, can't find a second touch or a bump on Camo. That ball's going to be tipped away. Camo, no boost, beaten out by Penelope, and now Salford are in dire straits unless Jiggy can do something truly miraculous. Plays that ball out to Kizza, Kizza to the back corner, and that may well be it. The miracle that Salford were looking for.
Yeah, Salford look really solid on defense now. They're not just clearing the ball and giving away possession, they're really looking for each other in the midfield and on the sidewall to essentially be able to clear that ball as a team, and transition onto offense really well, which currently you can see that York just aren't doing. It's just one player putting it to the corner or to the side and then trying to follow up, and it's just not happening for York right now.
Ball is going over to the side now. Jaffa to the midfield. It bounces up and around Tinney. Tucks it towards the target, but Jiggy gets the first block. Kizza beats up Penelope, and Jaffa caught too far forward again. This York third not keeping up with his 2 higher level teammates, I've got to say.
Yeah, I don't think we should put all of the blame onto Jaffa. That seems
not at all.
He's been solid in some areas, but it just does seem that eagerness to push up on offense that is costing him.
Jiggy Flicking that ball to the side, Jaffa back to the midfield. Jiggly needs to put a block in here, and he does. Tinney denied with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Salford seem to be set up for the sweep if they take this game. I haven't really seen anything from York to suggest that a reverse sweep is on the cards. It's not quite the floodgates that we saw in game 1, where Salford took the game 6-0, but still Salford definitely looked like the dominant team. Oh, Camo thinks it's game over.
It is. That was the
It
third
is?
game.
Oh, that was the third game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that
Series
was
Salford,
game 2.
3-0 sweep.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I thought the second game was the first one. Wow. Okay. So, everything that I just said was completely irrelevant. Salford are taking the sweep. Okay. Maybe I was just asleep for game 1. Can you confirm or deny?
You were there. It was the close one, 3-2.
Ah, yes. Okay. Why did I think that game 2 was the first game? I don't know.
Because I don't know. I
I'm
guess
really
you kind of
not
got
sure.
lost in all the goals.
Potentially. But yeah, Salford going to take the sweep over York here. They put up a good fight in that last game, and also apparently put up a fight in the first game, which I have absolutely no recollection of. But yeah, we'll be back shortly. Don't really know what match we're going to see yet.
No, we won't know yet. We will bring you results as we see them trickle in, though. Loughborough versus Warwick still ongoing, though. That's an exciting one. But yes, we will update you shortly after the break with all the results as they arrive. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a little while with game number 3 of the night.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laughed at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. No one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite. Can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Silent forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Silent forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. I wonder what went wrong today, Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words you say, say the words you remember.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? street lights lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down tonight. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out.
Welcome back. It's round 9 of the NUEL Winter Rocket League Championship. Swiss stage has been going smoothly so far. We are sorry for the delay before this series to go. Birmingham are facing off against Northumbria, and it's looking like the winner is going to be challenging for one of those top 8 spots next week. Orion, any thoughts on this matchup before we head in?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these players on stream before, so I have no idea what to expect of this matchup, but we're seeing a mid-table match here, which, as you say, could decide which teams could creep into the top 8 and into that coveted playoff bracket in this split of the NUEL.
Yeah, I do recognise one of the players on this, but that's only because they're in the high school scene.
Okay.
And not they, from what I remember, although they were good, they were not the hard carry for their team. That being said, this is Birmingham's top roster right now, apparently, and we'll have to see how they do in this series. Team colours for tonight. You see Birmingham in blue on there. In the game itself, they will appear white because black versus white. It's like a chessboard, I guess. I'm just sitting in spectator right now.
Chessboard with cars and a football, and it's nothing like chess, really. It's just black and white.
I mean, it was a while back, but I was having a chat with Jorby, the caster, and he was saying, Wands is getting to a level now where they're starting to have to think sort of moves or turns ahead.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So we're not far off, I guess.
No. But what we're also not far off is getting into this game. I don't think we should keep the players waiting any longer now, as we've had a little bit of a delay already, and I'm sure they're raring to get going. So players should be joining the lobby very soon, and we should be able to get this game underway. A myriad of Grand Champion tags in this lobby, clearly proud of their achievements. But game 1 going to get underway here with Birmingham and Northumbria.
Managed now to this ball off the going to try and follow up himself, but Pinecodes finds a way to force the ball over the top. Banter Panda forcing the ball back into the box, cleared by Procky. Jota with a whiff on the side wall, leaves the ball in the midfield, and Nubat now taking control from Northumbria.
Pinecode's going to send this one back, though. It seems like Northumbria have definitely started off on the front foot here, as the midfield just belongs to Northumbria right now. Birmingham are keeping a very just defensive line, but it's going to get broken here by Procky, as he's going to fire one through the curtain of the defense, and Northumbria get the go-ahead goal with only 40 seconds left.
If either Birmingham player had hit the ball there, it would have been fine, but because they both went for it, it pinched off the ceiling and back into the box, and that was what created the opening.
Yeah, some shaky double commits from Birmingham in the opening stages of this game, but it's classic game 1. Both teams just feeling each other out and maybe a few nerves, but I'm sure both teams will settle into a rhythm. But it seems like Northumbria have started to do that already, as almost another goal there, and Procky off the crossbar. Banter Panda going to send this one over. Double commit on the side of Northumbria there. It's going to drop dangerously, but Nubat able to clear that ball into the Birmingham half.
Match now in corner gets thrown off slightly by Joseph's touch there, I think. Banter instead, playing the ball down the opposite wall, is taken out by Procky. The ball over to the side. Madge, he's up, but he's missed. Banter Panda with the follow-up, and he does get the ball through to that black box.
Yeah, both teams surprising me so far with the quality of the Rocket League. I haven't really casted many mid-table games, but usually you can see a clear difference in caliber between the top teams and the mid and low table ones. But both of the teams so far have looked incredibly composed in pretty much all aspects of their play. Just a few double commits, but we even see that at the highest level. So a promising game and a promising series between these two teams. There's not a whole lot to separate them right now. That's a boomer from Match 10.
Literally nothing separating them as you say that.
No. Finding the top corner, Pinecoats with a mistouch there, and Match 10 is going to slam it over the top of Nubat. Nothing he can do about that one. And we are even Stevens with 3 minutes remaining.
Jotat winning out on kickoff here. That ball goes into midfield. Madge trying to follow up, but can't find a touch. Banter towards goal, but saved by Nubat. Rocky now playing this ball along the side. Well, he has no boost. As soon as he gets challenged, he's probably in trouble. He gets challenged by Banter Panda, but he makes a way through. Lots of boost expended by Birmingham here, just for a small gain. They are, however, putting Northumbria on the back foot now. Jota in the corner, looking for a centre. Gets away from Nubat enough that he has an awkward touch. Madge able to get this ball out to the midfield, blocked once again, though.
Yeah, it does seem like Birmingham are starting to warm up as this game goes on, as I can't see anything, but I assume that Jota managed to stop that ball, as it was definitely goal-bound. Nubat up for this, but he's going to get beaten up by Banter Panda. Procky going to take this one slowly, maybe look for a flip reset, but gets blocked out by Match 10. Shot on by Pinecoats, but blocked away by Jota once again. The defense right now of Birmingham looks solid.
Madge now tapping this ball up. He's going for a second. Procky beats him to the ball. Jota on the side wall finds a follow-up, and the second to get from the Pinecoats. It's spilled into the box. Nubat over to Pinecoats off the ceiling, dropping down. Madge at the block once again. Neither team able to fully commit to the play, I think. It's not so much a case that these teams are thinking about it. Just sort of ignoring it.
I just think it's the final touch, the final shot that is letting both teams down, and it's both a cause of the offense not quite finding the mark, but the defense blocking out as well, as we see a perfect example of
Jota's going
that
for demo. That's crucially timed, and Madge able to bring the lead over to the side of Birmingham.
Yeah, Jota with the aggression there, just hounding Procky and making sure that he wasn't going to be able to get to that ball. Gives the go-ahead goal to Birmingham with only 1 minute left on the clock.
Jota now following up again, tips the ball towards Pinecoats, who's found Nubat. Procky looking for a bump, but nobody's back. But Pinecoats finds the near post. That ball tucks itself neatly into the corner. We are tied at 2-2 with 50 seconds left.
Yeah, Nubat was a brick wall on that 50-50 there, just completely absorbed the force of the Birmingham defender and manages to push it through. Tie game now, and again, not a whole lot to separate these teams. They've been composed and consistent throughout this. I haven't really seen any glaring mistakes so far, as Jota's going to get another demo which could open things up, but Procky going to take control of this in the corner. Take it across, beats one, could wave dash here, but Jota there to meet him, doing so much with so little boost. Was Procky there, but it's going to stay in the midfield for the time being.
Jota clears it away from the back of Madge, taps it off the ceiling, but as Procky getting the follow-up, Jota, I think he might have jumped too early there, but he does recover, sidewalls into that ball to prevent the ball trickling into his own net. Jota bumped out of the way. Procky trying to centre this ball, but I think Birmingham are willing just to let this die and force overtime. Game one, it's not the first overtime of the night, surely.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure that this is the first overtime that we have seen tonight.
First overtime of the night. These two teams tied so closely, but that dunk from Jota might doesn't quite end it there, I should say.
Yeah.
Pinecoats on the back line, able to find that save.
Incredible save from Pinecoats, as that's going to be one to the left. Madge gets the demo while shooting that ball, but Pinecoats going to be able to take it out, and a mistouch from Jota means that it will go into the blue half. And a bit of ping pong ends up back in the blue half, and Jota's just going to fire it back to the other end. No team really wanting to keep possession right now. They're just kind of happy to bang it over to the other side, but Pinecoats with an awkward touch there. Could set up Madge here. Maybe looking for an infield pass. Catches it, flicks it to Banter Panda. It's up, it's dangerous.
Must be open, but Jota's not there.
No player there from Birmingham to convert.
Birmingham have been on top of Northumbria for so much of this overtime, but they can't find the finishing touch. So many shots have been on, but they haven't found that opening.
No, as you say, Birmingham seem to be the team on top in this overtime so far. It seems like Northumbria are just sitting back a bit too much and letting Birmingham have a bit too much space. But knew back they could finish
huge
things.
Sense from Jota, but not capitalised on by Northumbria. The defence of Birmingham holding strong in that time where, frankly, they probably should have lost it. The ball sent once again, though. Madge with a huge block, though, and I think that's Jota playing it into the corner. Yeah. Birmingham were one on the back foot now and have been so for the last 20 seconds, but remarkably still fighting in game number 1.
Birmingham almost beat themselves there on 2 occasions. There was a ball just sent across the net by one of the Birmingham players, as that's going to be almost unexpected shot from Procky catching out the defence. There's one on target, but Nuback there to absolutely hoof that shot away, and Madge can try and control, but it's going to drop dangerously. No one from Northumbria really following this up, but Procky going to try and flick over the defense. Jota's there to get a good touch. Procky on the wall here with no boost, can only just put it to that corner and try and keep pressure on. Jota going to take it here, and he's unchallenged on the wall with 100 boost. Can try and send it down to the middle. Banter Panda's there, but can't quite wrap himself around that shot. And Northumbria continue to hold on.
That's a lot of pads picked up by Madge as well in that black half. Both his back boots have now respawned, though. Madge tapping the ball to the left. Banter Panda also went up Pinecones off the corner. Jota needs to find a clear. He gets a touch, and that's enough to throw up Procky. And now Banter Panda is on this ball in his corner. Birmingham once again with a miracle save.
Yeah, it just seems kind of like the saves now, the two teams were very composed during regulation. I don't even know what the word is, but in overtime, thank you. In overtime, things seem to be a bit more scrappy, which is completely justified given the pressure these teams are under. But Pinecoat's going to compose himself there and get one off the wall. Jota here could sink it. It's a 50-50 on the goal line, and Jota's just going to muscle it through and take this overtime for Birmingham.
Those are the kind of shots which go either one way or the other. If he loses that, Madge is so far up that I think Northumbria might have had the win. But instead, Jota is able to force that under the final member of the defence.
Yeah, neither team
wins the MVP award, remarkably.
Oh. Yeah, he got a hell of a lot of points. He almost hit 1,000 points in that game. 6 saves on the side of Jota, and 3 shots and a goal to his name as well, plus 2 assists. So involved in all 3 of the goals that Birmingham scored. But again, there really wasn't a whole lot to separate these 2 teams at all. So based on that, I would really say that we do have a series on our hands here.
And series, I think we have. We're moving straight into game number 2. Players super eager. I assume, I know it was Pinecodes before saying someone was grabbing pizza. Clearly, the pizza buff having an effect. You know, super eager, super ready.
Yeah, pizza is a wonderful thing. It can.
Did you just see Banter's decal?
I did not see Banter's decal.
It works really well with Birmingham custom colours. I suppose you probably can't see it.
I am a console pleb, so I cannot, unfortunately, see the custom colours. Yeah. But it seems that Birmingham starting off on the front foot again in this game too, although that is an absolute monster clear down to the other side. I think that was Nubat who hit that off the wall. And Very
Jota's
open play
upfield, he's
right
tapped
now.
the ball up to beat up Pinecone's Banter, diving back in, but he's had the ball played off him by Madge. An untimely touch means that Northumbria should be getting back on offense, but it's Jota, once again, not the player who regards himself as the strongest player, even on this compromise of a Birmingham roster, but has been putting in the work to make sure his team stays ahead. Playing the ball down now to Madge.
Yeah, great touch there just to try and find his teammate. Had no boost and knew that clear, if he tried to make it himself, was going to be weak. So had good awareness to know where his teammate was. And transitioning onto offense now is Jota looking for the shot. Madge fakes out one, trying to go over another here. Can't quite get the touch.
Oh, he
But
fakes
Procky in
out
a
a
very
second as
awkward
well.
spot.
Oh, Vanterpander, he had the shot, but Procky at the perfect angle means it doesn't trickle into the goal. Newbat now playing around the inside. Pinecode is trying to follow him around the corner. That's not the place you want to be if you want to finish off on your opponent's side with centre. That being said, Vanterpander, it's another miss. Unfortunately, Newbat's capitalised now, but that ball not being played where Northumbria needed to play it.
Yeah, Pinecode's just misreading off that mistouch there from, I think it was Banter Panda in net. Did not get the touch he wanted to, back towards his own goal. And maybe not the first, but the second attempt definitely went in there. And I think this is a flip around. Did we see, who was it that went ahead in game one? Can you remember?
Who was ahead or who won?
Who was ahead? Who scored the opening goal?
The opening goal also went to Northumbria last game.
Okay, so same as game one then. They've scored the opening goal, and they might get another one here as Newbat going to send that off the crossbar, not quite in. Pinecode's following, but a great last-minute block there from Banter Panda, getting in front of that ball and denying a 2-goal lead
Procky's
to
got another
Northumbria.
opportunity, blocked by Banter Panda once again. Jota now on the sidewall, bumped away by Procky, but I think that's more of a setup. Gets that ball into the middle of the box, but instead Pinecode is going to block it before anything becomes too dangerous.
Yeah, Northumbria looking good on offense right now. It's a fake from Procky, but ball just goes over his head as well. Didn't really end up working out as he intended. Pinecode's going to be able to send this one to the middle. Procky's up, can't quite reach it. That was almost a brilliant passing play from the Northumbria side then. Could have really opened things up on offense, but they're going to have to defend now as Birmingham come at them.
Jota now off the backboard, it's bouncing down. Banter Panda now with a dribble, can't beat out Newbat though. 2 minutes left on the clock. Procky beats out Banter Panda, but that trickles back to Madge. Madge going up, tries to beat up Pinecode. You saw Banter Panda also trying to get a demo there, run some interrupt plays. Instead though, I think it's Northumbria transitioning into offense now.
Yeah, Jota there didn't quite get the touch he wanted, but managed to recover it well. Again, looking for his teammates on defense to help bail him out of that sticky situation. It just seems like when Northumbria are getting into that final third, they're just running out of boost and aren't quite able to shoot and get that final touch off with conviction, whereas Jota is doing the complete opposite. He's managing to carry the ball into that final third and bump his own teammates, apparently, as Madge 10 gets a little love tap. That's going to be one fired. Oh, Jota by Pinecodes. 2-0 the scoreline now.
I see, yeah, well set up from Procky as well, able to find his teammates and put the ball in a good place for him to just aim it at the target, roll forward and to the right, and it goes straight in.
Yeah, did well to keep possession there despite that fast counter-attack as Newbat. Gonna look to try and get this one off kickoff. That's a bad touch from Pinecodes, and Banter Panda gonna put this one straight on net. Procky not there in time. Northumbria crumbling there off the kickoff.
And yeah, almost as soon as it looked like Northumbria had this one secured, Banter Panda puts a seeded out into line 9. 61 seconds on the clock. 61 seconds ticking against Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham got to keep doing what they've been doing and putting pressure on Northumbria. If they allow them to just run rings around them, then yeah, it could really spell disaster. Madge going to get a shot here. It's top corner. It's in from Madge 10. Incredible shot off the midfield. Took it straight off the volley. That's an incredible pass from Jota to get that angle into the middle, and nobody back to defend that for Northumbria.
They do like to make it close, don't they, Ryan?
They do like to make it close, but we also love to see a close series between two teams that I still am unable to separate.
He said Jota, oh, he played it straight in front of his goal once again. Has been the cause of a Northampton goal in the past, but this time they get away with it. I was trying to say before, the only reason you should ever really be playing the ball in front of your own box is if you're being chased down from behind, if you've got the space to play it on that side, or if you can play it all the way over the top.
Yeah, and in that instance, none of those criteria
Yeah,
were really met by Jota. Yeah, Birmingham have kind of got to coordinate themselves on defense a bit more, and just look for each other to be able to play out of defense as a team.
Jota now diving in, found Madge in the midfield who side rolls and gets the ball slightly towards the net, but it's way too slow for it to be considered a shot. Jota now looking for a flick, kind of beats out Procky. Madge 10 off the backboard, bails out now. Banter Panda turning on the ball, chips it up, but it's Procky getting a solid clear now.
Jota with a shot, but it's going to be blocked out by Nubat. But again, every touch that's coming out from Northumbria on defense is allowing another opportunity for Birmingham.
There's no way did he just save that. There is no way Banter Panda just saved that.
I think he was trying to redirect it. I'm really not sure. I think the initial shot wasn't going in from Jota, and
it may not matter yet, but still, that's just greedy. Nubat now playing this ball off the ceiling. Jota bailing out because he realises it's too high for him to handle. Banter Panda in the box looking to trap the ball against Pinecoat. Pinecoat finds the touch he needs. Jota also beaten out on the side of Pinecoat, getting it around. Everyone gets a demo on Badge, but no, Banter Panda clearing at the last second. With the 11th hour and 90 seconds into overtime, the score is still tied at 2-2.
Yeah, Nubat and Procky there just found themselves in the same place on defense as Banter Panda, and Pinecoat's going to share a moment on top of one another there. But yeah, I think Northumbria kind of need to just pressure a bit more. Like they're playing a bit too nervous right now. There's only one player at a time, as Nubat is going to come in quite late there, but that was almost an own goal pinch into the net. Banter Panda able to clear his lines, met by Pinecoat in the midfield. Match 10 up here, doesn't quite have the boost to get back to it, and Northumbria should be able to clear here, but Pinecoat with no boost. Procky might be able to get a touch here. It's a misplay, and Birmingham having to play defense once again, sorry.
Nubat now. Sidewall flicks towards the box. He's looking for a double tap, but denied by Jota. Gets the ball out to Madge, who's able to tap it off the ceiling. Banter also looking for a block. That one's spilt into the middle, but I think Nubat's going to get this before anyone else. Jota looking for a block, gets lobbed. Procky looking for a touch of his own in the white box, but he can't find it.
Oh no! Oh, I thought then when Madge didn't look like he was going to get that flick, that was just going to sail in from Northumbria, but the woodwork saves Birmingham after that misplay off the defense.
Those turbo flicks truly are the worst.
Yeah.
Imagine now on the sidewall. Can't beat out Nubat, but he has put in a good position for Banter Panda, who's missed entirely. Jota now picking up where Banter Panda failed and gets it back to his main man on the sidewall. Jota now into the box. Madge, he could have been waiting for a shot, but he acknowledges that his teammates are too far forward and reluctantly heads back to his own box.
Madge not quite able to reach that one, but it was the right idea from Jota to look for his teammate in the middle. Another 3-minute overtime following the one that we had in game 1, and still nothing to separate these two teams. They look a lot more composed in this overtime. I think, they've both got a 3-minute overtime under their belt. It was won by a 50-50 on the goal line, which could have gone either way, and they both know that. So yeah, this overtime is being incredibly closely fought.
Jota now to the midfield. Pinecones He plays it to the corner, which isn't the place really. You want to force that touch out from the Birmingham players. You want to put them under a bit of pressure, even if it's not a lot. Jota now on the sidewall. He's missed entirely, and the side of his car is glued against the seeing the ball hanging in front of the net.
Oh, Banter Panda. Oh, I thought he might have had an open net there, but Nubat is back.
Nubat's
Might
there.
fake him out. Just seems like...
Banter Panda's missed that boost as well. This could prove important now. That boost pad in the back right corner has now got around 8.5 seconds left on it. Instead, the ball trickles around through the side. It's not going to be relevant to the grand scheme of things.
it just
now
seems...
over the top, just Pinecodes to beat, but Pinecodes places that ball to the side. Jota now to Banter Panda, who can't beat out Nubat, and now we're approaching 5 minutes in this game to overtime.
Yeah, almost 2 whole games worth of Rocket League played in this game too, and it could have been over there, but Banter Panda with a last-minute save out of nowhere is going to deny him with a shot of his own. It's going to drop dangerously in front of the net, but Banter Panda ends up clearing it himself inadvertently. Don't think he really knew anything about that. Nubat could have dropped that one dangerously, and Banter Panda, that's a very bad mistouch. It's fortunate there weren't any Northumbria players there.
I'm not sure Birmingham minds this overwhelmingly unless Jota completely beans this. He does not. Pinches that ball off the floor and gets it away from the goal. Unfortunately, though, Nubat is forcing Newcastle, Birmingham onto the back line. Banter Panda now down to Madge. Madge off the ceiling and back down to Banter Panda, who's gotten a whiff on that ball. Jota into the midfield. He's just handed possession straight back to Northumbria. Madge now hoping to fare better, but he just hits the ball downwards. Crocky diving in. It's not on target there, and Banter Panda is going to get in front of that ball as well. Approaching 6 minutes on the clock now.
That was it. That was such a misplay from Birmingham, and it left the net wide open, but Crocky just off the post, not able to find that winning goal that Northumbria need to be able to tie up this series.
Nubat now, sitting on this back line, waiting for a touch. I mean, he's just going to collect this in the back corner, but it's weak. Jota popping it above his head. And gets a second. It's in the middle of the box, but no one to follow through from Birmingham.
Is that in? Oh, okay. I was going to say
might
that
have
would have been a way to end.
Crocky got in the way, and Jota, he was anticipating a touch there, and he ends up using the remainder of his boost tank for
Oh no,
nothing.
Pinecodes, not like this. Okay. Some mistouches starting to come out now. You can see both teams are starting to feel the fatigue of this almost 7-minute overtime now. After the first one went to about 3 minutes in game 1, Madge might be able to drop this down, but a double commit there could open things up. It's going to be Jota who can carry this over the top. Madge actually going to take it off him. Banter Panda taking this now, but Birmingham are quite open at the back, but Jota's just managed to get back for this. In an awkward spot here with challenges off the wall and the ceiling. He's got to do something with this ball.
I mean, not the touch I personally would have gone for, but it does the job, and it's gone over the top of Compounds, off the bar and straight down. It bounces up for Crocky.
Yeah, the woodwork saving both teams on either side. Pinecodes there didn't think that that was going crossbar and failed to make contact. Madge with a wayward shot. That's going to be nothing doing, but might be able to set something up for his teammate here. Instead, it's straight to Nubat, who fires one towards Jota in an awkward spot. Takes it across his own net again. He's got to stop
really
doing that.
Needs to break that habit. Really needs to break that habit
got
before I have a
punished.
heart attack.
Yeah.
Banter
Banter Panda here is finishing it.
Birmingham, after 7 minutes and 49 seconds, I can't do the maths in my head for that one, but they found the back of the net. And they're on match point, remarkably. You wouldn't believe it based on how close these teams are, but they're 2-0 up.
Yeah, finally Northumbria there left the net open, and I imagine after that overtime, both teams probably going to be wanting a bit of a breather, to be honest. That was probably a very intense, almost 8 minutes for both teams. But as you say, Birmingham winning it out, and they are going to be putting Northumbria on match point here. And for a series so far that has been so close, Birmingham are set up for a sweep unless Northumbria can answer back.
And we'll have to see if they can start that right now. We're heading straight into game number 3. Northumbria once again in the black, Birmingham in the white, on the right on my screen currently. question is, are we going to have another 3-2 game? Is it going to be in Newcastle's favour once again, or are we going to see some variation in the score lines?
I'm not sure it will go in Newcastle's favour as they're not playing.
Why do I keep saying Newcastle?
Just kidding. But yeah, as you say, potentially we've had a 3-2 scoreline in both games, and we've had an overtime in both games. So if the teams are being consistent, then we may see the same thing happen again, as Jota almost able to put one in with not much time gone.
I've sussed it out, right? It's the black and white. It's the football team colours.
There we go. We found.
I mean, it doesn't help that Northumbria is also in Newcastle.
We're in a Rule 1 there, almost. That could have been the first Rule 1 bump play.
I thought it was going to be a block from. I can't remember if it was Pinecoat in the box.
Oh,
no, Madge. Tapping that ball in, when really all he needed to do was leave it. 4 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time for Birmingham to recover.
An incredible own goal from Madge. The angle and the precision there was impeccable. I'm sure he wouldn't have been able to do that on the other side if he tried. But he's going to fake out 2 here. Flick over 1, but it's too high. Madge almost redeeming himself immediately. Jota going to spill that one, and Banter Panda with an awkward touch as well. Actually going to get it over 1, but he's completely backwards and can't really do anything with that ball.
He really couldn't get up soon enough. He was in the air and he didn't really want to point his car. What? Hello? Anyone home?
Yeah, Pinecoat's just going to let that one sail over the top of him, because why not?
And Nubat really wasn't expecting him to miss that one.
No, I don't think so. I think potentially some sweaty hands on both sides of the after that monumental overtime. I'm sure they're struggling to get a grip of their controllers right now.
Yeah, I think that's evident there. Oh, that one's trickled in there as well. Newcastle with a lead in regulation for what feels like the first time in maybe all series.
Yeah, Jota's hands are definitely have a firm grip on his controller as he fires that one into the net at 112 kilometers an hour off the wall. And I think, yeah, you are right in saying that this is the first time that Birmingham have led in standard time, but not for long.
Never mind. Yeah, they couldn't really make up their mind to that one. I'm sure everyone's brains are still fried from that overtime.
Yeah, Jota with a bit of a flop at it, and Madge expecting Jota to do slightly more than he did, which was nothing. And Northumbria are going to capitalise on that, and we are at 2-2, so by rule of thumb we should see no more goals for the rest of the game now, and then Birmingham should score in overtime, exactly as planned.
Yeah, well done, Orion. Have you cast a curse before, or was that your first
I
time?
actually have, yeah. There was one game where I think it was Staffs scored 4 goals in 1 minute to come from 3-0 down. With 8 seconds left, I said that Staffs had undoubtedly won the game, and as I said that, the other team scored to make it 4-4. That one was pretty much on par, I would say.
So it's now in the back right corner, going to catch this one as he comes off the corner, but bumped away by Procky. Left of Madge to pick up the pieces. Bounces off the side, all it's high. Pinecoat having to use a lot of his boost. Serving it now as Banter Panda finds a block and plays it to the side. Madge, he's backwards, but he can block Procky.
Yeah, if Northumbria can score here, it'll be the first time in the series that either team has taken a 2-goal lead. And with the closeness of it, you would think 2 could potentially be enough after we've seen 2 overtimes in the previous 2 games, the previous one lasting almost 8 minutes. So with not a whole lot to separate them, but Banter Panda really doesn't like his opponents being alive by the look of things. He's on a bit of a killing spree right now, as that's a great touch from Madge to send it down, but Birmingham playing defense. That one's going to drop dangerously. No one quite there, and Banter Panda can sweep up that ball and get it clear for the time being.
Rocky now looked to fill up on his own pass. Taps it into the corner. Madge, the midfield Jota playing it forward. Does manage to keep possession, but not for long. Nubat plays it over the top of him. Panda Panda in the corner, can beat out Nubat, has a follow-up, but he's low on boost, gets around Pinecode, but Procky should have him red now.
Procky's got the air dribble here. He's dropped it a bit. I'm not sure the control was quite there. Nubat going to take this one slowly. Jota's jumped for it. Pinecode's trying to send this one in. Nubat over the top in the right place at the right time. And Northumbria do take that 2-goal lead for the first time in the series against Birmingham in a game that they need to win.
And you've got to think, in a series that has been so closely thought so far, a 2-goal margin might be the one that seals this game.
Yeah, and with 1:30 left, Birmingham have a lot to do. They've got to score 1 goal every 45 seconds, but Procky looking for the bump there. Northumbria still aren't done. They still want more, and they've got to get some momentum behind them if they want to try and launch this reverse sweep attempt on Birmingham.
Nubat now, still control of the ball, but demoed by Jota in the midfield. Madge tries to drive the ball through, but Jota picks it back up on the sidewalk, because that's where the ball decided to go. Banter over to the corner, and Jota gets demoed, so there's no one there to follow up from Birmingham. Not soon enough, I should correct myself too. Madge now playing the ball back to Jota, who's bumped by Nubat, and who's just missed the ball on the ground. The ground plays we were used to seeing last series from the likes of Matem, from Jiggy, from Camo, nowhere to be seen now. We're in the midfield. 30 seconds left. A goal required every 15 seconds from Birmingham. Madge off the sidewalk to the middle. Procky is there and he beats out Banter. Tripping into the box. Jota off the sidewalk, rolls into it, looking for a follow-up, but he's ahead of the ball. Banter now over towards that corner. Jota looking for a follow-up, but he's running out of boost. Can't beat out Nubat. 10 seconds left. This is looking nigh on impossible.
Yeah, that attack there from Jota really needed to result in a goal if Birmingham had any chance of coming back. But Northumbria are going to take this game, and at 2-1 in the series, they're still on match point. They can't afford to relax at all, otherwise Birmingham will pounce on them. But no overtime in this game. You would say a more convincing performance from Northumbria. Nubat there, 3 goals to his name, putting 8 shots on target as well. Seeming like Northumbria are starting to wake up.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that this is the start of a reverse sweep, despite the closeness of those first two games.
Yeah, exactly. Potentially in these series, you would expect a lot of back and forth where it's so close and a team not to get some momentum. But Birmingham did take those first 2 games, and Northumbria need to take the next 2 if they want to win this series.
But now that's a massive win on kickoff. Madge on the back line. He's able to find the clear, but can only get it to the midfield. Not the start that Birmingham were looking for after a poor game number 3. Banter Panda now, tapping the ball forward, but straight into Pinecode's Madge. Going up, tapping it to the side of Procky instead is the one playing it down.
Yeah, it seems like Birmingham's defense, is a little bit shaky and disjointed right now, but I'm sure that they'll compose themselves. They do have that comfort of having a game in hand, so they can lose this game to Northumbria and still be in the series, but they would have to fight out that game 5, which I'm sure that they wouldn't want to do. But Jota here, going to get 50 by Procky, and Pinecodes to take it forward. Procky has a bit of space here, but Nubat's actually going to take it off him, and Banter Panda, last man, deals with it well. Going to fall on that ball and put it under the Northumbria defenders. Could open things up here. Banter Panda can get it past Pinecodes, which he does. Jota going to drop the shot, but Nubat is just going to get it.
Clear as well.
Oh,
Madge isn't going to make it to this ball first.
No. Madge clears, and Nubat should be there to meet him, but the Northumbria players are just playing nervous right now. They were huddled in that corner with Madge racing towards them. Jota again playing it across his own half, but it manages to work for him this time. I don't know how many more times we're going to see that until he gets punished, and Sod's Law would have it that it's going to be at the worst time.
Has he not been punished once before for playing in front of the net?
I don't think so, almost, but I don't think it's resulted in a goal just yet.
Procky now playing it to the midfield, looking for a teammate who wasn't present. Nubat on the sidewall. beats out Madge, but I think Madge is just looking for the boost. He was getting really low there. Pine Codes. So midfield, Madge teeing it up for himself, as it turns out. Into the midfield, Banter Panda. And Jota missing it as well, leaves the backfield for Birmingham nice and open, but nothing can be capitalised on by Northumbria. They're playing too slowly right now.
Yeah, that was a good touch from Madge there to buy his teammates some time on defense just to compose themselves after that whiff from Jota, I think it was. Madge going to be up here, might be able to drop this in himself, but Pinecode's there to meet him at the near post. Jota in an awkward spot, but puts it high. No boost to follow though, and you would think Nubat going to clear that one high. Double commit on the side of Birmingham. Jota going to drop that one in. What a shot that is from Jota. Gets the angle over the Northumbria defense. Madge the pass off the double commit, but Jota coming
dropping a nice shot
across that ball. What a play that was from Birmingham.
Rocky now slows that ball down in the box. Jota gets a weak touch over to the side, but can't follow up. Banter Panda now off the ceiling. That's on straight to Pinecodes. It's on target. Nubat can't beat out Madge. Procky sending it back into the box, but I can't see anyone to follow up from the side of Northumbria right now. A huge double commit leaves Jota open on the side. Just has to fire it at the target, but he misses.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity.
Oh
there.
wow, this is open. This is a wide open net. Banter Panda playing the ball down. He should have just left it to Madge. Once again, Banter Panda denying the shot for Madge.
Yeah, just maybe a miscommunication there. It was dropping beautifully for Madge. Banter Panda maybe able to redeem himself here, and he does. Clinical shooting, finally, we're seeing from Banter Panda after a number of kind of scuppered attempts from him. Going to put that ball top shelf at almost 110 kilometers an hour. And Birmingham double their lead with under 2 minutes left.
This has got to be gutting from the side of Northumbria. They looked so convincing at the end of last game, and we were fighting so hard in games 1 and 2, and yet now with 90 seconds left, they need to find 2 goals or their time, well, at least on stream, is over. I'm not sure how it favours their chances in the final week in terms of playoffs.
Yeah, Northumbria, they had a lot of momentum behind them, and they need to try and get some here. That's a great shot from Nubat, but unfortunately straight at Madge, who is able to get the save and turn it away to the side. But Northumbria look like they're starting to heat up again here, and they have to do that with only 1 minute left. They've got to get these goals, and they've got to try and get them as soon as possible. But Madge...
Granted one, Madge has got an open net to score on with 53 seconds left. We see the largest lead of the entire series so far. 3 goals to the favour of Birmingham.
Yeah, 3-goal lead for Birmingham with under 1 minute left. And Northumbria, that's got to feel like you've had the wind kicked out of you after a great game where it looked like they could mount a comeback. It's all kind of fallen apart for them once more, as Nubat going to get bumped into that one. Madge using his opponents for the better. Jota going to put that one in, and the pull shot to transition onto offense is going to work wonders for Birmingham.
There was a definite lack of enthusiasm from Nubat on that half flip there. He didn't even remember to turn his car the right way up.
Yeah.
And leaves that net wide open.
Understandably, Northumbria feeling deflated after going 2 and then 3 goals down while needing to win this game. And it seems like Birmingham have finally managed to overcome an incredibly close series here, but there's still 20 seconds left on the clock. We'll see what either team can do here, as that could be another open net, but Procky going to send it to the side.
Jota now, he may well have found the far post here. That's a 5th for Birmingham. It's game number 4.
Yeah, I noticed Nubat there up at the other side, not really moving about much, just waiting on boost. I think he was potentially waiting for a pass upfield from Procky or Pinecodes, but just going to leave themselves open at the back, and a 5th from Birmingham.
And to Panda now, looking for block against Pinecodes. Still up, Pinecodes bailing out, but none of his teammates are there to follow up. Nubat waiting
Nubat has
on
given
back
up,
line.
it seems.
Yeah. It's not a great look, but I'm sure Birmingham don't mind. They take the series 5, they take the series 3-1, they take the game 5-0, and that is the last game of the night finished.
Yeah, that was I think the closest series of tonight, especially games 1 and 2, and that overtime in game 2 especially, was very high intensity. You could tell both teams were just unwilling to break. But yeah, after 8 minutes, I think that was the point that Birmingham knew that they could win this series. After they won that overtime, it would have been a huge momentum swing. And despite Northumbria taking the game following, Birmingham triumph in game 4.
Now, time to look down the results list to keep you updated with who has won, who has lost. Loughborough secure that first playoff spot by beating out UEA in their game. Only 1 point behind now are UEA Durham, UWE, Warwick Lancers, and the Loughborough B team, as far as I know.
Wow.
Not a name I expected to see in that top 5 or so.
Yeah, Loughborough B have always kind of been a dark horse, even from back in my day, when I was still playing NSC. The B team was always still a contender, despite not being the main roster. But yeah, all those teams looking set to stake their claim in that top 8 for playoffs.
Well, we will bring you more action next week as the final seedings and teams are decided for that top playoff bracket. And of course, all the other playoff brackets which are taking place across the board. I've been Sigmoid. Joining me has been Orion.
Yes.
Yes. Bye, Orion.
Bye.
You've been a great audience. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.